Hi, Allison. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, Taylor. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Allison is one of the past Six-Figure Ambition students, so I wanted to do this quick interview today just to show you guys a little bit of her before and after, and also answer some of the questions that a lot of people ask about the program. So Allison, first of all, I'd love for you just to introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and even kind of drop your website too if people want to like stalk you.
Sure. So I'm a business strategist for mompreneurs. So what I do is I help mompreneurs raise their businesses while they're raising their kids so that they can do it on their own terms, because moms in particular, like, we don't have a lot of time. It's not like we can pull all-nighters. We can't hustle like Gary Vee always says you need to do in order to be successful. So we have to do things a little differently, because we have different priorities. So that's what I help mompreneurs to do. And you can find me at just AllisonHardy.com.
Perfect. Okay. So I would love for you to share with us where you were, if you can remember, where you were when Six-Figure Ambition was just starting and when you joined, which would have been January of this year. And also a little bit about like why you joined, what you were looking for.
Sure. So so funny story. I made it one of my 2017 goals to work with you, Taylor. You and I first met through another group coaching program that I was involved in. You were a guest coach on, and that was like March 2016. So I had been stalking you for a really long time. And I remember in that coaching program, I was like, holy moly, this woman knows her crap. Like, she's got it together. So I was like, okay. And I wasn't ready for you in that time. So I worked all 2016 to kind of just get really clear on what I was doing. And then I decided 2017 was my year to like scale and just go for my business. Like, just unapologetically go for it, 100% in. And so I thought when I set that intention that I would work with you in like September 2017, I'd get to a certain point and then, I'd be like, oh, Taylor Manning, hey.
Yeah.
But then you launched this Six-Figure Ambition program in January, and I just had my best month ever. I launched a group coaching program all during January, and I did good. I wouldn't say I did great in that program. There are definitely some things that I would tweak, and I was feeling really burnt out from it. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that feeling. I hate feeling like that. So when you launched this program, I was like, okay, this is how I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to work with Taylor in this group coaching program, and this is going to be it. And one of the things that you really helped me to do was to book my programs fully by not killing myself, by doing a lot of things on automate and like developing a really hardy sales funnel and figuring out my Facebook ads, because I was doing Facebook ads, but not really, really well. And then in May, I topped my best month ever by $6,000. So I went from a 10K month to a 16K month, and I did it on my terms. Like, I wasn't feeling burnt out. I wasn't feeling, I wasn't feeling pressure by the money, like I had in the past. And I did it really like easily. And I feel weird saying that, because I always feel like I used to feel like business had to be a struggle, but it was like one of the easiest months I'd ever had. And I had these amazing results. So that's kind of my process so far.
I love it. So you did tell us a little bit about like where you're at now, and a little bit of like the wins that you've had. I'd love to hear like 2 to 3 things, either some like wins or celebrations that you had during the program, and also either or you can kind of correlate them, of some of like the top things that you feel like were most valuable in terms of like what you learned.
Yeah, well, the community was definitely super helpful. I always like group coaching programs because you get the people along with that. Yeah. So like when I had my 16K month, I was feeling some sort of resistance. Like, I was like, can I, do this again? Was this just a fluke? Like, who am I to make 16K in 1 month? And I'll never forget, I felt really ridiculous posting this in the group, but like I needed to say it out loud or like post it out loud. Yeah. I said like, this is how I'm feeling. And someone commented back, Allison, this is just your new normal. Like, this is how it's going to be from here on out. And I was like, really? Like, what? So the community was really, really awesome. you were like super involved. I couldn't, like, at some points I was like, Taylor, you're giving me like too much in this group. Cause it was like, I would post something, you would answer it. I would ask another question, you would answer it. Like we would just go back and forth. And it was a really like intense way of doing a group coaching program. Like I never had that kind of support before. So that was super awesome. And then like just with like Facebook ads, like I know Facebook ads can do really, really awesome things for me in my business. I've just never really been able to like crack the code. And I always feel like it was this big like resistance in my business. And I'm still not great at them, but I'm definitely a whole heck of a lot better. I understand them a lot better. And I understand like what the conversions are, and I understand like the numbers, and I get them more. I don't feel like I'm just kind of putting stuff out there and hoping it happens. I have like a plan for it now. That answer your question?
Yeah, perfect. So, okay, I have, I think 2 to 3 things that are basically some of people's kind of fears or objections about the program that I'd love for you to just kind of give your 100% honest input on. Sure. So first one that I get a ton is, especially right now, people are really worried that they're not going to be able to keep up, or this is good. I don't know what you're going to say about this because I didn't give you any fair warning about this. But another thing, people are like, Taylor, you seem to work so much. You seem to do so much. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put in the work to get the results that I want. And I love that you kind of touched on that's so important to you to not burn out. So I'd love for you to kind of like give your input there.
Yeah, I'm really like ruthless with my time. Like I do not work 12-hour days. I don't do it because I have like a kid and I have like a husband who I actually like to see, and like I have a life outside of my business. So like I don't work crazy hours. I work in the summer now, I'm working around 3 hours a day. And that's if my son naps, like if that happens. So like I don't work a lot. And so when I went into the program, I was a little worried about that. It was definitely something that, you know, if I'm kind of maxed out on time, like how am I going to add this other thing into my business? And yeah, it did require more work. Like it's doing different things in your business, and yeah, that requires more time. And I went into it understanding that I was probably not going to get it all done every single week. Like I knew that. I knew that going into it. But I was going to get done the things that I really needed to do. So like the modules, they maybe weren't in like the order I needed them to be in, but I like the webinar one, for example, and the event one, for example, I'm doing a webinar in a couple of days. So like I've gone back to that and I'm like going through that now. So even if you don't get to it all, it's really not a big deal because you still have all the information and you still have the Facebook group and you still have all the recorded calls. So like you can go back and go through the information again. But like in all honesty, the modules aren't anything crazy and involved. Yeah, they're going to take some more time, but it's not like you're spending like 8 hours a day on the modules.
Right.
And they're filled with very like actionable, like do this, like step-by-step ways of doing certain things. To really like break it down and make it easier for you.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So this is the other one. People are worried about a group program that, and it's so funny because I can't predict the future. I don't know exactly how many people will be in the program, but this round, Six Figure Ambition one that you were in had, I mean, I forget how many people I kind of added into it that were clients, but we had like over 40 people in our group and at least 30 something like actual students. So do you feel that that's like, what are the benefits of that? Is that something people should be concerned about?
I think if it was like 100, maybe be concerned about that. But
it won't be 100. It's going to be similar.
That's a lot of people. I can imagine you like serving that many people. Yeah, it was not an issue at all. Some people were more active than others, and that's fine. I was like kind of down the middle. I wasn't super active. I wasn't like non-existent. But it wasn't a problem. I don't think it was an issue at all. If anything, I learned more because there were lots of different women in the program. There were like life coaches, mindset coaches, confidence coaches, success coaches, lots of different types of coaches. And a lot of us were in kind of different, not super different stages of our business, but there were different stages of business represented. So it was cool to learn from everyone from these like different walks of life. So I don't think it was an issue at all.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of how I look at it, is like you have me, but then you have all these other coaches too who are like really great at different things,
Yeah, totally.
So last thing, just to wrap us up, I'd love for you in like your own words, just to describe the different type of support that you get in the group, because there's the group, there's the calls, there's the modules. So just like a little brief, just in your, as like a student explaining like what they get. I think that'd be really cool for people to hear.
Yeah, so every Monday we got a new module emailed to us, and the modules, they varied in length, but I would say that maybe the max was like 10 pages at the most. But what the modules did is they walked you through really step by step the topic, and it was really easy to follow. It was really like digestible. You could like do chunks. You didn't have to do it all at once. And you can go back. Like the thing I like about the modules and the workbooks are you can go back and really like glean from them what you need. So even when Six Figure Ambition ends, I know that I have the one about Facebook ads. So I'll go back and like re-examine that one if I need that. So you get the modules, the calls. I couldn't make every single call, and that's just life. Like that's just kind of part of it. But you know, you get the replays. So that's really helpful. And the thing I did like about the calls is that they're Zoom calls. So you can like see people. I'm a very like visual person.
Yeah.
So I like seeing people. Like I like putting a face to the name. I like seeing all your mannerisms, whoever has, you know, whoever's talking. And I like seeing people work through ideas, because then you can also like screen share and like you could look at my Facebook ad, you know, things like that, which I really liked. And then the community is super supportive. So you post in there, you usually get some feedback really pretty quickly. You would always give feedback within like 24 hours, which was phenomenal. And it was just a really supportive program. I do not regret my investment at all. It's super worth it.
Yay. Thank you. I think that was perfect. Yeah, thanks. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.